Okay, here's question 18 on the higher non-calculator paper. Reading the question first, just looking at it, I've got a grid here with a shape, a trapezium in there, and it's labeled P. So reading the question, shape P, so P is reflected in the line x equals -1 to give shape Q. Shape Q is reflected along the line y equals 0 to give shape R. Describe fully the single transformation that maps shape P to shape R. Okay, so what I need to do is to do these two things, right? Do those two transformations on the graph, and then to say how I can get directly from P to wherever we end up showing R. So I'm going to do it in stages. So let's do this first bit first. Reflect P in the line x is equal to -1. Now the x is equal to -1 is a vertical line. It's a line that goes through -1 over there. So putting my ruler in there, I'm going to draw the line and I'll label it. Make sure it's clear. Okay, and that's x equals -1. That's that line there. Okay, so reflecting that shape, that corner there is 2 squares away from the mirror line, so when it's reflected it ends up there. This corner here is 2 squares away, so it'll end up there. That corner there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other one up there is going to be there. So put little dots for the points, and so quickly reflect this. Okay, so that there is going to be shape Q. And then they said that shape Q is reflected along the line y equals 0. So any line which is y equals 2 is horizontal. Y equals 0 is the x-axis, this line here. That's y equals 0. So reflecting it, I'm going to get a point there, a point there. You can see those 2 points are just 1 square away. That point there is 3 squares away, so 3 squares away takes me there and there. So this is going to be shape R. Now the next bit is to decide what's the single transformation that's going to take P to this shape. Now we've done 2 transformations, we've done 2 reflections to get P to R. We've done a reflection to get to Q and then a reflection of Q to get to R. But what the question wants us to do, what the examiners want us to do, is to say, what's the single way, what single thing I could do to P to get me all the way here? And if you're familiar with your transformations, you should know that that is going to look like a rotation. You need to get some tracing paper to help you find the center of rotation and to test it out. Okay, and I have a hunch that the center of rotation is going to be about there, right at that point. You can see that that point looks halfway between both of them. So if I just check it, yep, it goes spot on. So if I do it again, from there, rotating the shape, see, I'm pretty much bang on. Now that rotation was half a turn, and the center of rotation was at that point there, so I put a little cross to make sure I note it. I'm going to write these things down now. The question says, describe fully the single transformation that maps P to R. So that single transformation is going to be a rotation, and the rotation is 180 degrees. It's half a turn. Because it's 180 degrees, I don't need to say clockwise or anti-clockwise, because both clockwise and anti-clockwise will get me to the same place. And then the other bit of information that is that the center of rotation is, I need to know the coordinates of that point. The coordinate of that point is 1 along, or -1, 0. -1, 0. And that's the coordinates of the center of rotation. And that's the answer to that particular question. There was quite a lot in there, but if you break it down into bits, take your time, it is pretty straightforward to get full marks in this.